Hello everybody. Last video of the night, then it's time to go back to work. Anyway, this one is going to be about our prices of buying and then selling to the precious metal dealers. And what I found out since the whole 15 months now that I've been in this field, it's been very gray. It's been dark. Very few shiny moments. Actually, the last big jump up was the last shining moment, and that lost half of its steam already. That if you buy silver at a 4 or 5 hour premium now, and when you sell it back, you notice how the dealers only want like $1 over spot, $2 maybe the most. If you get lucky from time to time, they'll give you $3 over spot. Like in early January, when we had the stoppage of the blanks for the silver eagles to be made. So a lot of precious metal dealers couldn't get their silver from the manufacturer or from the U.S. Mint. So they were asking people like us that were stacking to sell it back to them, and then they'll resell it for a nice little profit themselves. So their premiums to buy it back went up dramatically at that time. But now it's a whole different story. You see American Eagles now for almost slightly under $26 a piece. But their buyback is like $23. You know, it's a $3 swing there from what they want to give you to what they're selling it for. And it always seems we're on the losing end of this. The precious metal dealers are the only ones that are profiting from this, really. Unless you're smart like Raw Dog and a few other people who happen to buy it at the very low and know exactly to dump it. And not silver stackers and collectors like us that are just holding it or hoarding it for inflation problems ahead of us, and which is a very smart reason. And the reason why we all should be stacking it is for inflation reasons itself. Because I'll tell you what, I'll give you a good example, that if my parents would have bought silver back in the day and they still had it now, when silver was under $1 an ounce, that is preserving your wealth dramatically. And what's silver going to be in another 20, 30 years for us if we buy a whole bunch of it and just stack it somewhere for our kids in their future? Heck about money. Heck about saving cash for their college fund. You want to save college fund money? Buy silver and gold. And then 20, 30 years later, you're going to have a lot more money for their silver and gold to pay for their college tuition than you would if you keep cash around. I'll tell you that much, that's a no-brainer. Just look at the stats and the prices 20, 30, 40 years ago until now. That's what I'm doing. Half my stuff is going towards my son, and the other half is going to be for me into hopefully a home. So that's going to be that. So now back to the dealers. The field had a lot of times $26 now for an eagle. You know how long it's going to take for silver to hit back to $26 just for you to break even on your money? Because that could be another year from now. Could be another week. Okay? So, little scared about that and how they work. I know it's a business and they got to make the money to stay in business. And what really scares me the most about these prices, say the $50 range, I see a lot of people on eBay, on here on YouTube, oh, I would never buy silver at $30 or $40 or $50 an ounce. Oh, I would never do that. What makes you think silver would ever hit $50 if people keep doing that? If people aren't going to pay $50 for silver, silver's not going to hit $50 an ounce. Okay? It's got to be at a price, which I truly believe Raw Dog is right on this. Silver is going to be based on the price that the people are willing to pay for. I paid up to $80 an ounce, $100 an ounce for a silver coin with low mintage. Okay? So, but will you be willing to pay $50 for American Eagle? Okay? That is the question. Also, what also scares me most when Raw Dog mentioned this, because he lived those days a few years ago when he got in it since 2008, that he said, I believe it was 2011 when silver hit $50 again for the second time. As it hit 52.50 in 1980 and 1980. I also made a video on that, my first video, on your goals in precious metals. But anyway, he said the precious metal dealers were so scared of buying silver at that price that they would not pay $50 an ounce. They were offering $35 an ounce. So, what is the price to really get out? Is the price to get out is $35, maybe tops $40, so you know you're going to get what you got? Or you're going to wait till $50 and all the precious metal dealers say, we don't have to buy your metals. We don't want them. Because we got a whole stockpile back here that nobody wants to buy for $50 an ounce. So why should we buy your silver for $50 an ounce? Right? Okay? So, if nobody's willing to pay $50 an ounce for American Eagle, why should APMEX buy your silver coin back for $50? Look, I'll tell you to go screw yourself. I'll give you $35. Huh? Okay? And if he said that was true, and that is true, but back then, if anybody else lived in 2011 when it was $50 and you had silver and you tried to sell it at one of those dealers and they told you $35, please clarify that was true information. I believe Raw Dog, he lived it, I didn't. So I have to go by his word. And he seems to be very wise and he knows his thing about these silver markets. He lived it. I've only been into it for 14, 15 months now. So that was before for me to know that. But I'm sure somebody here, of all my great buddies that I talk to often, and they probably been there long enough, a few years ago. It's only 2 years ago, so it's not that long enough. To know that was either a true fact or not, that precious metal dealers were not paying $50 an ounce for your silver when it did hit $50 because they were afraid it was going to crash, and boy did it. Okay, so silver goes to $50 again. What makes you think anybody's going to buy our silver for $50 an ounce? Okay, think about that for a second. If you're not willing to pay $50 an ounce for silver, why should somebody buy yours? Okay, just want to make a quick question about that one. Why should he buy yours at 50? If you're not willing, if you're not willing to pay 50, why should somebody buy yours for 50? Okay, thank you.